Greetings, Starfighters. Welcome to Mad Science Films. I'm Jimmy P, filmmaker, sexual astronaut, and as ever, I'm joined by my inked co-hosts.
James Morrissey, one half of the Mad Science team, freshly inked mofos. So before we get on with the show, if you like this video, then please hit that like button. If you've been enjoying the Mad Science content and want to subscribe to our YouTube channel and stalk us on Facebook. If you have any comments or suggestions, then leave those down below in the comment section. Much appreciated. Let's crack on with the show.
Nice. Okay, guys. Also, please check out our fourth feature film for free on YouTube. Just search for Little Monster or click on the link in the show notes below. So, this week we campaign for forgotten masterpieces of genre cinema to be given the Blu Ray treatment. This week is James M's choice. What have you brought to our table, James?
I've brought you the sequel to Rosemary's Baby. This is a 1976 TV movie. Look what's happened to Rosemary's Baby. And this is the synopsis. So, having been adopted by the madam of the Southwestern brothel, I don't think it's quite a brothel, and now adult Adrian must cope with the fact that he's Satan's kid and not living up to his expectations. Yes.
I mean, that's a lot to live up to.
Yes, a lot to live up to. So, Jimbo, first time for you.
Yes, it is. It is. It's one I was aware of. And it's one I think was on my watch list of, like films that are somewhat illegally on YouTube. So definitely wanted to check it out. So yeah, when you suggested it, I was like, yeah, let's do this. I'm on board. I'm on board. So yes, Jim, why did you decide to bring this for us?
I decided to bring it to this show. I thought it was because the original Rosemary's Baby was such a well-made film, and it's been a while since I watched it. I watched a couple of recap shows the other day just to kind of rejuvenate, those memories. But it was such a strong film, the original, such a dark, that paranoia, the satanic element, such a really powerful film, and anything that attempts a sequel to that, particularly a TV movie, deserves a lot of credit, I think. So I brought it up. It's recommended by Mark, a friend of mine. He does all my findings for me. I'm a lazy prick, but he recommended it, and I watched it. Now, again, with sequels, particularly with sequels to very cult classics in this instance. You are putting yourself up for the slaughter, and it does fall short of the original, and it does fall short quite badly in some respects. But there's the good and bad theme of the film. I think they are quite consistent with that. That duality, the Adrian, Andrew, or is it Andy? The constant battle with Adrian. Is he going to go good? Is he going to go bad? The friend Peter the Angel, and he got the weird kind of occult grandparents almost in Roman and Minnie. So that was, and there was some good visuals in there too, like the scene where Peter gets electrocuted, he's almost like crucified outside the window. I thought that was pretty cool too. Some interesting visuals, but the acting was a bit wooden at times. The story felt a bit clunky. I think they break it up into 3 chapters. It was the Book of Rosemary, the Book of Adrian, the Book of Andrew as well. So almost like biblical kind of way of doing things. But yeah, again, giving it credit for the attempt to do a sequel to a classic. Again, they didn't quite capture that paranoia from the original, the cults around you. Who is the cult? Can I trust you? Are you gonna like? And there is a bit of that in this, but not done as well as the original.
No,
so,
I mean, it's almost identical to my notes, mate. Is because the original was all about, is it in her head or is it actually happening? The ending obviously kind of wraps it up, unless you still want to interpret it as it was all in her head. So then to do a sequel, you can't recapture that magic. So you can have it so the characters are still, is it happening or is it not? But the audience is, definitely under the impression, he is the son of Satan. So you can't really, whoa, that was loud. You can't really bring that back. So what I would say is, as you say, ignore the original, or don't try compare it to the original. Just enjoy this as a weird little side project where it's fun to see what some of these characters are up to. I mean, I loved how they got Rosemary out of the story, you know, onto the bus, and that imagery was great. They revisited it later in like a dream sequence, and I thought that was really strong. And you know, I enjoyed that for a TV movie as well. Really good. It was a lot of fun to see Ruth Gordon, who played the same character, Minnie, in the original. So it was great to see her. Obviously, she's got a new actor playing her husband in this one, but still, you know, one of these classic, you know, old school actors or whatever. And they brought that comedy, which kind of worked well in the original, very unsettling, and they brought that comedy to it. So it was great bringing, you know, some of the guys back together, some of the characters back together. I thought it was interesting, and there was a lot of stuff that was kind of underexplored. So like, yeah, like with Peter and the relationship between Peter or Adrian, Andrew, whichever, and yeah, that weird relationship where Peter's kind of like taking the fall for him when, you know, the police pull him over, kind of stuff. So that could have done for me being fleshed out a little bit more. It was kind of, you know, moving along. And I suppose, you know, like with TV movies, I mean, this one was an hour and a half. Typically with TV movies, they tend to only be about 70 minutes, don't they? So at least you had a bit more time to explore stuff. There were, yeah, as you say, mate, great images, with like the weird he had like weird mime makeup, and then it became into this musical sequence, and at first I was like, oh god, this is gonna be awful, and I was dreading it. But then they did actually start doing some interesting stuff with it, with like you know, like those quick flashes of images of the devil, which would remind me a lot of like The Exorcist, when you know, these, like weird flashes of Linda Blair in makeup and stuff like that. It ended up kind of working despite itself. So really interesting that the director of this was the editor of the original Rosemary's Baby. And I think that is a lot of its strengths is, performances might not be 100% up to scratch, but I think it was so well edited that it ended up being effective, almost despite itself. So in the end, I was kind of one round, but yeah, definitely with the caveat, do not go in expecting it to be an equal to
it's gonna fail. Like, I think it is gonna fail. I mean, there was a sequel to the book, Son of Rosemary by Ira Levin. So there is a sequel to the book. So but this doesn't go by that book. I'm not sure if the book was released before the film. I don't really know. So maybe that was it, or whether it was just a choice not to. So it is, it's a steep incline to kind of you know, replicate, and like you said, they kind of, the ending of the original kind of ties your hands a little bit, I guess, with exploring that paranoia again to the full capacity that the original did. So yeah, credit due there, I think, for the attempt to. They did fall on his face at times. It wasn't as strong as the original, but you know, they kept that theme of good and evil going. Some really good visuals, some good scenes. Definitely.
I had fun spending another 90 minits with these characters again. So you know, what more could you ask for? Apart from some cool classic, but you know, again. So. Cool. All right, Jim. So, who do you think is best placed to put this bad boy out on Blu-ray for us?
Well, Criterion Collection have the original, so perhaps they could do a double pack with that, perhaps a box set. Also, the Omen Collection you can find on Screen Factory, so perhaps they'll fancy picking that up. Maybe the original as well. I don't know, but yeah, they seem to like their kind of devil demon kid thing. So yeah, those two. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I've said Shout Factory or Screen Factory. You know, Screen Factory is like a sub label of Shout Factory. So yeah, again, TV movies, that kind of time period with a horror tinge, smack dab in Shout Factory's, Screen Factory's Uber. So yeah, definitely awesome. Okay, Jim. So you've watched Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby. What do you want to follow it up with?
Well, if you're in the mood for another devil-orientated horror sequel to a classic, perhaps check out The Heretic Exorcist 2.
Damn it.
With Linda. Sorry, did I nick yours?
Yeah, we need to share
sorry.
Those. Yeah, good call.
Linda Blair. The Omen, another good one for that kind of time period, 70s, Devil Kid. Also, a film which I come across from looking at films, which involve the Antichrist child. I come across Holocaust 2000 with Kirk Douglas. So yeah, there's a few there to check out. 70s demon kids, I guess.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah, I went with Exorcist 2 because, yeah, again, what happens after, fun to catch up with Linda Blair again, slightly more growing up as well. And I went with The Omen 3, the final conflict with the grown-up Damien. And I would love there to be, like a sequel now where it's grown-up Damien versus grown-up Adrian versus grown-up Reagan from Exorcist movies fighting it out. That's
she did that,
that's the battle royale I want to watch. So yeah, good call. All right. So guys, have you seen Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby? Did you dig it? Have you read the book? I wasn't even aware there's a book. I'm going to go check that out now. Are there any other films that you think we should campaign and annoy a bunch of Blu-ray labels and beg them to release on Blu-ray? If so, let us know in the comments. And Jim, what else can they do?
All right, guys, if you like this video, remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also come over to Facebook, give us a like and a follow. Thank you and goodbye.